Hey guys, so today I'm going to address one of the most common questions we get. What should I bring on a day hike? So everybody has their first real hike. You know, that one where you kind of go out on a trail, it's much longer than you expect, you come completely unprepared, you don't bring enough water, you didn't bring the right shoes, you didn't wear the right clothing. We've all had those. And no, a hike through your neighborhood is not a real hike. So many years ago, we had our first one. We weren't prepared. We didn't bring enough water. We wore the wrong shoes. We got dirty. We didn't do enough research on the trail, got a little turned around. We've all done it. And any hiker that tells you that they haven't, they're lying to you. The risks of being out there and not having the right gear and not being properly prepared are very serious, even when you're day hiking. So what is day hiking? Let's talk about that for a second. There's really two different types of hikes. There's day hikes where you go out and return on the same day. And then there's overnight hiking where you go out for a day or multiple days or multiple nights on a much longer trail. That's essentially the difference. Most people, including us, do day hikes. Those are hikes where we head out during the day, maybe we get to the trail around 1 or 2 in the afternoon, hike until about 6 p.m., and then we come back home. Now there are exceptions. We have a friend that likes to do 26 miles per day. Yeah, not gonna do that. So now that we know what a day hike is, let's talk about the right gear. We're gonna start with the backpack and all the stuff that's in our backpack. So generally when Jen and I are out hiking, we have at least one of our kids with us. So between myself, Jen, and 1 or 2 of our kids, we have anywhere from 3 to 4 backpacks. Jen and I carry camera backpacks and our daughter carries the day pack. So when I say camera backpack, this is mine. This is a low pro. They actually don't make this model anymore. I'll put a link to the replacement model down in the description below. We're not going to talk about this backpack today. I will talk about camera backpacks in another video, but basically these are backpacks that are designed to carry camera equipment. Lots of padding, lots of pockets. They open a particular way, but that's not what we're going to address today. For general day hiking where you're not bringing a lot of camera gear, you're going to want to carry a day pack. A day pack is generally a pretty small backpack that's very light and easy to deal with and easy to carry. Our favorite backpack for day hiking is the Osprey Hikelite. There's 2 different sizes. One is an 18 liter, which is this one, and there's a 26 liter as well. We generally carry the 18 just because on a day hike you just don't need to carry that much stuff. So we're going to open this up. I'm going to show you guys exactly what we carry with us. This backpack is ready to go all the time, so we just grab it and go. We're going to open it up and I'll put a link to all of the items that are in this backpack in the description below. So let's talk a bit about why we chose this backpack. First off, Osprey makes very rugged, very durable, very high quality backpacks that are going to last for a long time. They put a lot of thought into how things are laid out, how the straps are, and the comfort of the backpack. When you're hiking on a 5 to 7 mile hike and you got gear in your back, you want something that's going to fit right and be comfortable. And this backpack is going to be that for you. So a few things I want to point out. There are elastic holders on both sides. You can put gear in these. We generally put water bottles. The other really nice thing I like about this backpack is the back. So it's got a mesh that goes against your back, and there's airspace in between the backpack and the mesh. So it keeps the backpack off your back. This is really important on a hot day when you're sweating a lot. You don't want the backpack to get soaked from your sweat, and you don't want the back of your shirt to be soaked from the backpack. Behind this mesh is a hard, rigid, I'm not really sure exactly what they use, but it's a hard, rigid backing so that the items that are in the backpack aren't stabbing you in the back or moving around, poking you in the back, things like that when you're hiking. So one of the other things that's really nice about this backpack, especially when you're hiking here in Western North Carolina where it rains frequently and you never know when it's going to rain, in the very bottom, behind this zipper, is a cover that you can pull over the backpack when it's raining. This is a waterproof cover. It completely covers the backpack and will keep the contents of your backpack dry. Okay, so let's dive into what we have inside. There's 2 main pockets. There's a small front pocket right here with this zipper. There's a much larger back pocket that basically encompasses the entire length of the backpack. So let's open up the front pocket and I'll go over the items that I keep in there. Okay, so first let me mention, I keep everything in Ziploc bags. Yes, this is a water resistant and waterproof backpack with the cover pulled over it, but even with that, I like to know that all the stuff that we carry with us is going to stay dry. So I use Ziploc bags. You can also use Ditty bags. Those are hiking bags that are waterproof as well. Ziplocs work fine for us. If we were on a much longer hike, we're going to be using a lot more, I would go with Ditty bags, but for the kind of hiking that we do, Ziplocs work fine. So my first item is bandanas. Bandanas I just cannot say enough about. You can use them as headbands to keep the sweat out of your eyes. You can use them to wipe things off. You can use it to clean gear. You can use them to sit on. I mean, we've used these for all kinds of things. So I usually carry 3 of them rolled up so they're nice and small. You can get these at your local Walmart or whatever for like $1 each. Very inexpensive, very beneficial. Next I've got snacks. This is not really indicative of what we normally bring with us, but there's some Slim Jims in here. Looks like we got some chewy granola bars. We generally bring crackers, some beef jerky, just kind of whatever we're in the mood for. One thing to remember when you're day hiking is you want to bring some stuff with lots of carbs and protein in it. So chocolate, peanut butter, Cliff bars, things like that are all going to be good for you because you're going to burn off a lot of energy when you're hiking. But that's, you know, just one of the little bags we bring, and that's usually where we keep some snacks just for quick access. The next thing that's here is a portable charger, both for our phones and for our cameras. There has been situations where we've used our camera so long the battery started to die, so this is really good for charging up your camera batteries. It's also really good for keeping your phone charged as well. Very important too, make sure that you have an adapter for your phone with it, and I keep this one attached to it all the time so we don't forget. Flashlight, LED flashlight at that. Cannot stress enough how important it is to have a flashlight or a headlamp with you. These are incredibly useful on a trail when you're not exactly sure how long it's going to take for you to hike the trail. You don't want to get in a situation where you're hiking back and it gets too dark for you to see. You could get injured, you can get turned around, you can get lost, you could fall off the side of the trail, get severely injured, or a number of other things. Flashlight is going to be critical to keeping you safe, allowing you to see, and if you need emergency assistance, somebody finding you. So I always keep these, and I keep extra batteries in the backpack as well. A knife. I used to carry these on me, but I lose them too often, so now I put them in the pack. This is just a Gerber hiking knife. I like the open frame because it's lighter. Nothing fancy, it's not super sharp. It's just really nice for opening up snacks, cutting various things. I can't even think of the times when I've used it, but it's been a very helpful piece of gear at many times when you wouldn't expect that you would need it. Okay, so that's the top pocket. Let's open up the much larger, bigger pocket. So this is an Bauer thermal jacket. We always keep these with us when we're hiking when it's cooler, like in the fall, winter, early spring. You just never know when it's going to get cold, and you don't want to be in a situation where the sun starts to go down and it starts to get cold and maybe you're wet and you start suffering from hypothermia. It's just a really bad situation to be in. So we always keep these with us. I either generally clip it on the outside of the backpack or I carry it inside the backpack like this. What I really like about these is that they fold into their own pocket. So it's got a zipper up pocket, and you basically just tuck it into the pocket. It makes it nice, small, and compact for your backpack. Toiletries. So in this, we have a little bit of toilet paper and hand sanitizer for if you have to use the restroom. Okay, the next item is, again, another jacket that folds into itself. This is a Marmot PreCip rain jacket, and I won't go into the details of this. I'll do this actually in a separate video. These are incredibly high quality rain jackets. They're breathable and waterproof. They have various lips that help drain the water off of you so it doesn't go down inside the jacket. Really good investment, especially again if you're hiking here in the Blue Ridge Mountains where it's often rainy and rainstorms can come up out of the blue. You want to have one of these with you to keep you dry. Another option is something simple like this, which is just a little portable rain jacket. There's many different brands. This one actually happens to be Frogg Toggs, which gets really good reviews on Amazon. Again, these aren't breathable. They're not as good a quality as the Marmot jacket, but you know, if you just want to stay dry, they're good enough. Next, we have some 1 gallon size freezer Ziplocs. We use these to put our trash in. Again, always hike your trash out. Don't leave it on the trail. Water filter, another one of these life-saving critical items that you need to have with you. We've been hiking for many years, so we're pretty experienced on how much water we're going to drink and how much water we need to bring, but we have had situations where we drank more water than we expected to, and this was critical. What this allows you to do is drink safely out of the creeks and streams here in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Even though those creeks and streams look clear, they often have microbacteria in them that can make you very, very sick or even kill you. So this will keep that from happening. These are very inexpensive. They last a long time if you take care of them, and they're really easy to use. So have one of these with you. Again, link in the description below for this. Having a first aid kit is another one of those really critical items you need to have with you. Fortunately, we've never had a serious injury, but we've had some scrapes and bumps and things like that. We used to hike with a pre-packaged first aid kit. And what we found is most of the items that come in those kits we didn't use. So rather than bring a bunch of first aid items that we're never going to use, so we ended up making our own first aid kit. I'll do a separate video on this and go over what all is in here. But regardless, bring a first aid kit with you. We've even had other people use the items that we brought along. All right, finally, fire supplies. Again, we've never had a situation where we had to make an emergency fire, but if that ever happened, you want to be prepared. So in here, again in a Ziploc bag to keep it dry, I've got dryer lint. So dryer lint is actually highly flammable and works really, really well for starting a fire. So I just grab some dryer lint, stick it in this bag, and I bring it along with me in case we ever have to start anything. Also in here are 2 Bic lighters. I bring 2 just in case one of them doesn't work or fails to work for some reason. That way we've always got a way to make fire. And you know, me being a little OCD about those kinds of things, I even have a third option, which is flint and steel. Just another really important item is clothing. You want to make sure that you're properly dressed. Remember, here in the Blue Ridge Mountains, it can rain at any time, so chances are you're going to get wet when you're out hiking. You do not want to be wearing clothing with a lot of cotton. Cotton holds moisture, it does not get rid of moisture. So you want to wear a lot of what's commonly called stay dry clothing. Stay dry clothing is going to allow that water to evaporate and wick off of you much faster, helping keep you dry. So you want to wear moisture wicking gear that includes hiking shorts or hiking pants. Jen and I prefer to wear zip off pants. Those are pants that start off as pants and you can zip the legs off and then they become shorts. Those work really well for if you're starting off on a cooler morning and the temperature gets hot, you can just zip those legs off and be cool. We also wear stay dry shirts and stay dry undergarments as well. Again, all of that's to keep the moisture off of your body so that you don't risk getting into a hypothermia situation. Plus, it's just plain uncomfortable hiking in wet clothing. Can you say chaffing? Nobody likes chaffing. So let's talk shoes and feet for a minute. The part of your body that takes the most beating when you're hiking is your feet. And you want to protect your feet. If you get a situation where you hurt or damage your feet, it's going to make for a really miserable hike back. So you want to avoid that situation. So wearing the proper shoes is really important. A common mistake that a lot of people make is thinking that they can wear athletic shoes. That works fine for a very flat, short hike. For a longer hike, that's generally more rocky, or there's climbs involved, or there's water crossings involved, you're going to want to wear a good pair of hiking shoes or hiking boots. I prefer hiking boots. Jen prefers a combination of hiking boots or hiking shoes depending upon what trail we're doing. The nice thing about the hiking boots is they're a little taller, so they're going to allow you to step in water a little more and not get your feet wet. The other important aspect of shoes is proper socks. So a lot of people think that thinner socks to keep from getting hot are going to be better. That's not the case. You want to wear thicker, generally wool socks, even in the summer. They're going to give you more padding and make for a more comfortable hike. So a few final tips. We like to keep a large cooler full of ice in the back of our Jeep. We fill that cooler with water and Gatorade to have after we hike. Again, you'll often run out of water while you're hiking or run short on water. It's nice to have that water there when you get back to your vehicle. We also keep a complete change of clothes in the back of the Jeep for all of us. The reason we do that is if one of us falls and gets wet or gets muddy, we can change clothes and ride comfortably home. We've also learned to keep towels in the back of the Jeep for the same reason, in case you get wet. You want to have something where you can dry off. That wraps up our video for what should you bring on a day hike. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a like and be sure to hit that subscribe button. We'd love to hear from you in the comments about what items you guys bring along on a day hike, or maybe some things we missed, and we'll see you next time. You want to be sure to check out our common hiking mistakes video. You should see it on the screen right here somewhere. Just go ahead and click that link and it'll take you straight to our video.